Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. So also please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Been looking on eBay, and there are some, and looking on the Mohs scale of rocks, and there are a lot of rocks available if you wanting to get up into the higher end of the Mohs scale, above 7. Flint and quartzite run at about 7 Mohs. Norfolk flint runs at about 8, and that's about the hardest of the flints that you will ever get. So, and I've always wanted to test other rocks. Now, the only problem is quartzite probably is the cheapest rock you'll find. Flint is a little bit more expensive, tends to be fairly expensive. These are even more expensive. I've got a few samples of small sample sizes of these rocks that I've got, that I've bought. Some of these are, it's not that expensive, but it's just not viable to get because you just can't buy enough of it to be useful for flint and steel. Thankfully, I've got onto some Australian stuff, and the bloke is sending me a few other samples of rocks that for free, and it's very much appreciated. It's from this guy, Stunning Gems. He's very good, and he sent me some obsidian, Black Obsidian, which I just tried before, and obsidian runs at about 5.5 on the Mohs scale, so very soft. But I actually got it to spark. First time I've ever been able to get a spark off obsidian. Normally you can't get it. I've seen it done before, but I could never get it. I have a piece of obsidian here, but I could not get it to spark. It won't hold up because it's very soft. It's a lot softer than flint and that, but I did get it to spark. I'll show you in a minute. I bought some South African tiger eye, which I think is, or from memory, 7.5 on the Mohs scale. Beautiful piece of rock. It's only a little bit of, it's only a sample size. These didn't cost me a lot of money. Like, you're talking about $10 including postage, so, you know, or $15 including postage. So, but I just wanted to test some other rocks rather than just flint and that, and it's just me experimenting with it. So if you actually do find the likes of tiger's eye or tiger eye or Australian topaz, or just topaz, not Australian topaz, you can get it to spark. I'll show you. This is topaz. As I said, it is degrading, but they're only tiny little bits. I couldn't get this one. This has got all rounded edges. I couldn't get it to spark. Now, you'd probably be able to break it up, but you're working with very small. See how it's, yeah, it's all rounded off, so you're not going to get that to spark. But this one had some fracture points, so I did get, as you saw, I just had it. I'm getting sparks off that, and you would be able to get an ember going with that one. No dramas at all. So that's Australian topaz. 10 grams of it. That was a little bit more expensive. I think that was about $20 for those two stones. As I said, it was only an experiment. I just wanted to see how topaz went. Again, I think that's about 7.5 on the on the Mohs scale. Tiger's Eye. This one was good. It's got nice sharp edges. That's a beautiful rock, actually. I could that edge is not real good at all. I could certainly use that one as a piece of like in a kit, but I'm just going to use that, probably put it in with my other my centerpiece, my my Viking young, I can't remember the bloody name of it, the World Serpent Viking striker, and just have that as a center, as another one of the, because I've got all my special stones in with it, and hopefully I'll be able to get this to spark again. This is the Black Obsidian. There we go. I am getting a couple of sparks off it. I am getting a couple of sparks off there. Just on that fractured edge there. It didn't come up. I can see them. There is occasional sparks coming off it. It's not a lot, but I have got a few. There we are. Yeah, a few sparks are coming off it. So I have successfully got sparks off obsidian, finally. And that one was 60 carats, so it's quite a large piece of obsidian there. And that, it's just running on that fractured edge, and I'm degrading that edge very quickly, you know, like it doesn't take much to degrade. Yeah, it's not, and I've already degraded it to the point where it's not sparking any more at all. So yeah, but that's just some experimenting I'm doing with a few other. I've got one more piece of rock coming that is a Jasper that I'm really looking forward to it. It looks like a beautiful piece of rock, that, and it's a little bit larger, but it's more akin to petrified wood. But yeah, I these are not viable for flint and steel because they're just too small and too expensive to buy. But it's just for me fooling around with little bits and pieces. If you could harvest them without having to pay for them, fine, no worries. If you're getting Jasper, pulling Jasper out of the ground, and that, it's a viable rock, certainly. But or Tiger's Eye or whatever, you know, like just what I'm trying to say is have a look at the Mohs scale and just see there are so many rocks apart from flint that are viable rocks that you can use for flint and steel. You just don't have to be stuck with flint or quartz. You can use other stones. You don't have to use flint or obsidian or quartzite. They just are the most prevalent around. Quartzite seems to be the most prevalent around, but in some areas flint is abundant. But yeah, Australia, you're not going to get it unless you're in the Mount Gambier area of South Australia, basically. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little bit of an experiment with some other rocks, and yeah, just show you the that they certainly spark and whatnot too. You know, like you just have to think outside the rock and think outside the box and study the Mohs scale, because if you have a look at the Mohs scale, and there is a large list, and it goes right up to 10, up to diamonds. But yeah, diamonds, obviously, emeralds and diamonds and that sort of thing are too expensive to even contemplate. And I don't think they shatter into the sharp edges that we require for driving spark saw. That's what I found with obsidian too. It doesn't shatter into that sharp edges that you require. But anyway, that's just a little bit of an update on some of the little rocks that I've been buying just to test out and have a bit of a fool around with this flint and steel obsession that I am currently in the throes of. Anyway, thanks for watching.